Bandwagon Buffs, man. Hell of a game. 2 win for 500. BWB. Bandwagon Buffs. That's right.
Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon Buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Family, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. Family, I gotta go ahead and get into this video real quick, so that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. All right, so some of us have been wondering who's gonna be the next OC, the next offensive coordinator. We talked about it on the live show. Cole Basha is also leaving. We talked about Pat Shurmur in this article from Brian Howell. Deion Sanders says Pat Shurmur most likely to be CU Buffs offensive coordinator next season. Colorado head coach Deion Sanders may have settled on his offensive coordinator for next year. In an interview with USA Today on Monday, Sanders was asked if Pat Shurmur would be the Buffalo's offensive coordinator next season and said, yeah, most likely. Shurmur, a longtime NFL coach, was hired by Sanders as an analyst last summer. 8 games into this season, Sanders made the decision to promote Shurmur to a co-offensive coordinator role with Sean Lewis and handed the play calling duties to Shurmur. Sanders also told USA Today that his son, Buffs starting quarterback Shedeur Sanders, is okay and should be healthy by the spring after missing the last game and a half with a fracture in his back as well as an ankle injury. With the transfer portal opening on Monday, Sanders also told USA Today that the Buffs 4-8, 1-8 Pac-12 are looking for older quarterbacks to come to Boulder as backups in case something happens to Shedeur again. He said he's looking for multiple quarterbacks from the transfer portal. The Buffs also currently have Ryan Stubb, who will be a true sophomore and played well in his only start of the season at Utah in the finale on November the 25th. As for the coordinator position, Shurmur is a logical choice after finishing the season in that role. Lewis is no longer with the Buffs as he took the head coaching job at San Diego State last week. Sanders told USA Today that he's happy for Lewis. Coach Lewis came with the intention of having a great year and leaving, Sanders said. That's what it was. That's what the plan was, and the plan was executed. Nothing has transpired that has caught us off guard. Not one thing. Sanders hinted that Shurmur would be the OC after the Buffs' 23-17 loss at Utah. He said after the game that there would be a few changes to the staff, but when asked if that would include offensive coordinator, he said, I don't know about that one. Following the Utah game, Sanders also spoke highly of Shurmur when he said, Pat and I communicate really well. Pat and Shurmur communicated really well. Pat and Shedeur communicate really well. So I think he did a great job. I really did. With Lewis calling plays during the first 8 games, the Buffs averaged 32.1 points and 408.6 yards per game. But they had also sputtered throughout his last 6 games as play caller. Shurmur called plays the last 4 games, and the Buffs averaged 20.3 points and 273.5 yards per game. In Shurmur's second game as play caller, though, the Buffs had 31 points and 339 yards in nearly upsetting then the number 23 Arizona. Early in the next game, Shedeur was injured and didn't play at all in the final game and a half. Prior to being hired by Coach Prime this summer, Shurmur's most recent job was as the offensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos from 2020 to 2021. In 2019, from 1999 to 21, Shurmur coached 22 seasons in the NFL. He was head coach of the New York Giants 2018 to 2019 and Cleveland Browns from 2011 to 2012, and also had coordinator stints with the Broncos, Minnesota Vikings 2016 to 2017, Philadelphia Eagles 2013 to 2015, and St. Louis Rams 2009 to 2010. With the Eagles, Shurmur's offense ranked 4th in the NFL scoring in 2013, 3rd in 2014, and 13th in 2015. In 2017, his Vikings offense ranked 10th in scoring, and he was named the NFL Assistant Coach of the Year. Sanders was also asked by USA Today if Shedeur and his other son, safety Shiloh Sanders, would be back next season for their final years of eligibility. I would think so, Sanders laughed. They're my sons. I would pray so. It's always been our dream that they're going into the NFL draft together, and we didn't know how that would manifest itself with the COVID-19 pandemic and everything. It just so happened properly that they're going into the same draft at the conclusion of next season. That is some insight from Coach Prime and his USA Today interview. Some questions that we had in our heads. Hopefully that will answer some of those questions. I know that we were talking about Byron Leftwich becoming the new OC, but it appears that Byron Leftwich is no longer in the picture, especially when Coach Prime is saying that Pat Shurmur would more than likely be the OC. With Pat Shurmur being the OC, how does that make me feel personally? personally, I feel good about that pick. Pat Shurmur is somebody who studied with his play call. I believe he's going to have more of a study Rockins team where Shador is going to have the opportunity to do what he does best. I believe we're going to run the ball more. There were glimpses at times where we ran the ball more. I don't know if Pat Shurmur has his own playbook that he's going to install and having the team learn a whole new playbook, or they're going to take variations of Sean Lewis's playbook and install that and then just add on to that. I would assume that he should have his own playbook, something that he feels comfortable with, being an analyst and knowing Shador and what the strengths of the team that we currently have and maybe some of the guys that we're going to add. I'm sure he's going to try to come up with something that works best for the team that we're going to finally have when next season starts. So we're going to be looking forward to whatever Pat Shurmur has to say. Once he's installed, he's going to have his own press conference and he's going to give us his idea of what's going to transpire during the season. Whatever ideas he has for the offense, some of the things that he has seen during this season, what he thinks is best going forward, he's going to give us those ideas in his press conference. So we just wait to see what transpires then. In the TLP Live at noon tomorrow, Tuesday, December the 5th, we're going to cover a lot of this. If anything transpires about who we acquired through the portal, I know day one is pretty much over now, but whatever happens, if there's any news that come out, I will make sure to let you guys know and we will discuss it on the show. This is pretty good news. I like Shurmur, so I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to leave it right there. You know who I am. I'm Harry B. And that right there was the Liberian Perspective. That's TLP Sports Club. Brah.